In the past 2 years, we've seen an exponential increase in both the availability of and demand for authoritative data. Because of the emphasis now placed on making data a more strategic asset, it's no surprise that NASCIO's top 10 priorities for 2022 now include sustained access to government data as an item under the Data and Information Management priority. I'm Wyatt Cash with Scoop News Group, and joining us to talk about how state and local leaders can improve data access and mission outcomes is Franklin Williams, president at Tyler Technologies. Franklin leads the Data and Insights division at one of the largest software companies in the world, solely focused on providing integrated software solutions to public sector organizations. Franklin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me here today, Wyatt. Really appreciate it.
Well, many government agencies are looking to data to help them improve their mission services. How can leaders set their organizations up to really be successful in enacting their data strategies?
So it's a great question. And as somebody that works in technology daily, it's easy to look at this as just a technology problem, but it's so much more than that, particularly when we think about the public sector. The problems that the public sector faces are truly unique, and they need partners both within the organization and outside of it that have deep knowledge of some of those unique problems. They need access to expertise and some of the best practices across the public sector community. They need buy-in and a shared understanding among all their stakeholders, people within their departments, people across departments, their residents, agencies, federal partners, the people that they're working with on a daily basis. And only once you've gotten those things right, and once you've gotten the buy-in from all those stakeholders, only then does it become a technology problem. Technology that's geared at making data more accessible across their organization, and then technology that's designed to help drive specific intelligence and specific action based upon the data that's within their enterprise. And we see a lot of organizations that are really good at maybe one or two of those things, but it's not until you really combine all three pieces, the data, people, technology, that things really start to click.
Then how can state and local agencies really become more proficient at managing and then using data?
Part of it is to realize that leaders across the public sector aren't alone in solving these challenges. By choosing the right strategic partner, agencies can improve how institutionally they're making sense of the data they're collecting. I'll give you an example for some of the things that we do here at Tyler. We're exclusively focused on the public sector, which means we know public sector data and public sector issues really kind of better than anybody that's out there. That means we can deliver value super quickly. That means we can help identify the right data to provide the right insight for the right agencies. And most importantly, we can put that data in the hands of the people that need it, while also ensuring that it's secure and meets all of the unique compliance needs, all the unique security and auditability that's unique to the public sector.
And then can you share some examples of how you're seeing state and local agencies successfully turn data into more of a strategic asset?
Absolutely. We've got a couple of wonderful examples, actually a ton of wonderful examples from Tyler. A couple of my favorite are about the state of Connecticut and what they did with their open data program in response to the pandemic. So the first thing they did was help their residents access that data and then share that data, both within their residents and then also across their enterprise. They helped increase engagement with the Department of Public Health, helped increase engagement with the Connecticut State Department of Education as well. And in doing that, not only were they able to better communicate with their residents, but what they saw was their agencies were now suddenly able to communicate and collaborate around that data with one another as well. That facilitated, weekly official updates that met the demand for in-depth information, timely updates that helped critical decision-making across agencies on public health, school learning models, what should be open and when should it be open, and where do we need to make sure that we are continuing to fight this pandemic to keep people safe. And the result of that, during the lead up to the school year in 2020, they were able to identify and develop the right metrics that they needed to supply guidance to local school districts on whether to reopen, whether to continue to do remote, whether to drive more of a hybrid model as well. And so that's just one example throughout the pandemic of the state of Connecticut taking data and helping share with the right set of stakeholders, both internally and then with residents as well, to make sure that everybody within their community was safe and they were doing everything that they could to fight the pandemic.
Really appreciate your sharing that. And then lastly, what other resources or examples can state and local agencies and their leaders turn to improve data access and mission services?
So there's a vision that we have here at Tyler that we call connected communities. One where governments are using data to connect all of their stakeholders. Again, departments, policymakers, public servants, residents, all designed to drive better outcomes on behalf of the people that they serve. And so when we think about some of the resources that are available to the public sector, many of those are their partners and their neighbors, right? So whether that is their neighboring counties, neighboring jurisdictions, federal agencies. And so we see a lot of people use our technology to help connect data between each of those players to get a 360-degree view of what's happening in their community and to drive better decisions off of it. For example, Norfolk, Virginia connects their data from the state of Virginia, which runs on our platform, to provide more information to their residents and more information to decision makers internally. We also see clients use commercial data, data from payroll providers, credit card providers, real estate providers, all of which are designed to get a 360-degree view and help drive better decision making on behalf of residents. And then finally, finding experts is a great resource that we would recommend. As somebody that's been developing public sector software for quite some time, Tyler, we believe that we have a unique perspective on many of these problems, and that we've got the right footprint, the right reach, and the right expertise to really help people both understand their data, unlock insights on top of it, and really help connect communities to drive better outcomes on behalf of the people that they serve.
Well, it's certainly exciting to really appreciate how state and local public sector agencies are really kind of banding together to share resources and rely on experts like yourself to help accelerate their use of data strategically to support their missions and the public. So, well, Franklin Williams, thank you so much for joining us today and really talking about fostering data sharing to deliver mission outcomes more effectively.
Thank you, Wyatt. Really, really appreciate it.